I'll do my jokey, hello.
Okay, go on then.
Hi everybody, it's Jessie Cave. I'm just going to announce the podcast now. This is the podcast of Alfie Brown and Jessie Cave. It's called Before We Break Up Again. This is episode 54 or 55, we can't remember. And in the episode, we talk about Alfie's heart and the fact that he might die young. And we also talk about my show, Sunrise, that I did a few years ago that was... it did quite well. It was disgusting.
No, this can't continue. It was a really good episode today, and you're making it sound appalling.
Yeah, but this is the point. I'm trying to get better at announcing.
I know, but you're back referencing a joke that we've already made in the podcast that they haven't heard yet.
Yeah, but in a minute they'll love that.
Yes, but in a minute they won't hear it because they'll already have turned off due to the low quality intro.
No, they won't. They'll be like, what the hell is this? I need to listen.
We're doing the intros too long nowadays. Patreon.com/Brave Clown. Jessie performs with one breast out every week. So subscribe for a small fee.
Can I also promote something?
Let
me promote something.
I'm going to Edinburgh. There's a ticket link below. She's going to Edinburgh. There's a ticket link below. You're in conversation. Yeah, I always do that. I put your ticket link below.
I'm promoting my stuff now. Thank you.
And what do you want to promote?
I'm doing a Mother Sluts live circle with Sarah Barron on the 3rd of June at the Bill Murray at 6:30 p.m. It should be really fun. If you're a mum, do come. It's a nice thing to come to, I think, if you're a mum, or if not, but if you're interested in listening to mothers or sluts talk about things, I would recommend it as a show to come to if you have never been to a show on your own. I think you might find other people like. And also I'm doing In Conversation with Hannah Murray about her memoir.
It's Just Me, Myself memoir.
On the 5th of June at King's Place in London, and that is a hot ticket apparently.
Is it?
Yeah, I've got so many texts from people saying that they want to come, but I can't get any comps. I can't get any comps. Oh, yeah. That might be why actually. They're fucking expensive, those tickets.
But very worth it to rather remarkable people in conversation with one another. So check that out. Subscribe to our Patreon. Like and subscribe this episode. We'd like more people to listen to this. So if you wouldn't mind
because we don't promote it.
Because we're too busy living our lives and raising our children. So if you wouldn't mind just doing that work for us, if you get a chance, that would be great. I'm being tongue-in-cheek, but also I mean it. This is Before We Break Up Again.
Episode 55.
Episode 55.
I think.
Do you remember this time last year when we released one of our earlier episodes called Too Hot to Podcast?
Actually, it might be 54.
Could be, yeah.
Yeah, I do remember that episode.
Yeah.
It's been even hotter this week, hasn't it? Because of global warming. Did you know about that?
I did. I think what hasn't improved in that time, as well as global warming, is your microphone technique.
Thank you.
That wasn't a compliment.
It's just because I'm speaking kind of coolly.
To try and cool yourself down,
No.
or like a cool, like a Steve McQueen, like that kind of cool.
Just trying to be gravelly and cool.
Have you ever felt cool?
No.
No?
Never. The only time I've ever felt cool was in a few times in my life pre-show when the audience is full and you're there in the room and people are walking in trying to find a seat to your show and they see you as you walk in and you feel like that sense of pride that you've sold all those tickets, and for a moment there's such a hope and expectation in the air that I'm gonna go on stage and it's gonna be great. And I feel cool for that moment as some other person's song is playing and it's cool. It's a cool vibe.
Yeah.
And then that's just obliterated the second I start talking on stage.
Right.
And also I did that the other day when I thought I was gonna have a really good show and then I had my terrible show. I felt so cool for a second. I was like, I'm just so relaxed. I've come down to London. I have a full show and I'm just going to go on there and be great and have a really good time.
I'm chit-chatting right before the start of the show.
Talking about my sister and my family and my mum's storage problem, and I'm able to chat about intense stuff just before I go on. And then the tech person says, "Do you want to introduce yourself?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I can do that. I can do that. But she doesn't lower the volume to the song. So I'm shouting over that. "Hello, Please welcome to the stage, Jessie Cave.
Has it crossed your mind that maybe when you introduce yourself on stage, because I know that it's like you feel like confidence and the assertion of your own confidence, there's an arrogance in it. So you have to do this. You don't have to say it like that. I know you don't. You're a good performer. But you go, hello, please welcome, like this hesitancy to try and communicate a humility to the audience.
I don't know why I did that. That really set the tone.
Yeah, it really, this is what when I've been giving you notes after you've asked for them, one of the things that I have mentioned to you is you creating an atmosphere in which the sort of expected outcome is failure. Like you expect failure, and then therefore you encourage them to expect failure, and therefore there permeates the atmosphere a sense of failure before anything's even had the chance to fail.
Exactly, because I'm projecting, or the audience is immediately getting someone who's not confident, and so they feel unsafe.
In the same way that, like, I wouldn't maybe in certain occasions have not worked as hard as I might have worked, so that when I fail, I don't have to deal with the indignity of my hardest work having failed. It was only 70% effort, and that's why I failed. In the same way, I had a bad show, but that's because I started by going, "Hi, everybody. If you clap, please, me, please."
But the thing is, it didn't occur to me in that moment when she said, "Do you want to introduce yourself, or do you want me to?" I should have said, "No, it's okay. Actually, just lower the volume, and I'll walk onto stage." No one has to introduce themselves. It's so stupid. Why didn't? But then I didn't want her to introduce me because I didn't know her. I didn't know. She might have gone, "Hello, and welcome to the fucking stage, bitch.
Welcome this bitch to the stage, please."
It's such a weird thing, but it's because, no, that's what you should do as a performer. No one has to do anything. You can go on stage and do whatever you want. So I've learned from that. One thing that we could talk about is that I'm going to be doing Sunrise again, my show. I'm going to do it 4 times.
Yeah, we could talk about that.
And it's just gone on sale, I think, the tickets, and it's quite a lot of pressure.
Okay.
It's in, I'm doing 2 in Edinburgh, and then I'm doing 2 in London in September.
Do you want to talk about that immediately? Or do you want to carry on talking about?
Well, no, because it does relate, because when I first went on with that show, my self-critic, the way I would criticize myself on stage and then analyze my performance on stage to the audience and profusely apologize as I performed, you were always kind of like, you mustn't do that.
Yeah, there's a certain extent to which if you can control that energy, then it will suit you, because it does suit who you are. But I think you might be in danger of being such a convincing performer that you trick everybody into thinking, "Oh, no, she really can't do this."
Well, yeah, and also they worry for me, and especially if I'm talking about something sensitive, I don't seem okay. But the funny thing is, the reason I would like to talk about it is the drama involved in that show, which was about when we were broken up and me trying to be okay on my own and letting you go emotionally. That drama was pre-Ben dying, pre-cancellation, pre-your dad dying, Adam dying, Adam was the director of my show, Sunrise. The drama, it just looks like...
Not to mention an absolutely devastating yet global pandemic, yeah. It's nothing.
Absolute nothing.
Well, but it wasn't nothing. It was something. It was something that you can't relativize your own feelings that way, I don't think. Or you can't relativize other people's. As the lyric in that Jeff Tweedy song goes, suffering's the same for everyone.
But maybe that's a lesson for me, again, because it was really popular. And it was popular. I mean, there was a little bit of rape in there. But it was a rape.
Well, it's the Jessie Cave TM. It
was me.
That's like Salt Bay doing this. Is your rape? He's does salt over his elbow like that, and you just a little bit of rape.
It was. It's not about the rape. It's about the encounter with somebody who dated my rapist at a Barry's boot camp.
You claim. She claims otherwise.
No. She dated him.
Yes, but she didn't. She claimed that she didn't. In the show. That's in the show, isn't it? She claims not to have dated him.
At first,
I'm not misremembering it.
But just let me speak.
Okay.
At first, she says no, but then she says cryptically, anyone who does that is not my friend.
Right.
Which is admitting that she knew him.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. She still teaches at Barry's.
Which one?
Oh, she's one of the founder model turned Barry Bootcamp trainers.
Wow. Well, at what point doing Sunrise did you ever really allow yourself to acknowledge, it would be very unlike you to acknowledge this, but it must have crept in at some point. At what point did it dawn on you that the show was going very well?
I would say the initial writing was just so effortless and easy, and it really did come out of me. And I wrote it in the Hope Street Hotel in Liverpool over one weekend when my mum had the kids. We were broken up, and I wrote, and I sent you the draft. I sent you that because there's a story about. Did I send you there's a scene in Paris where I go to a Comic-Con with my new boyfriend. Did I send you that? Why would I do that?
Because you're nuts. Because you're kind of a nuts person.
Was I asking if you were okay with that?
I really doubt it. I think you would. You sent me the whole thing and then warned me that there's a scene in there where I fuck my new boyfriend in a closet in France. Closet or utility cupboard?
Cupboard. Yeah. So it is quite intense. It's not a non-intense show. There is still some intensity.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not like big life events.
I know, but it's like I think so because some people's brothers or parents or kids or people have died, people aren't allowed to be upset and try and navigate breakups through their chosen artistic medium.
But I think that this is a learning curve for both of us, because I mean, I said in my new show, I say, now I feel like OnlyFans is written on my forehead. I feel like I did when my brother had just died, and I went into the coffee shop that I would go into every day, and the baristas asked what I wanted, and I felt like they could see the fact that my brother had died on my face. Instead of saying anything to them, I just ordered an oat latte, and I felt like they were going to say back to me, but your brother just died. How can you order an oat latte?
Yes.
And I feel like that about OnlyFans now, that I just seem, people can see what I'm doing or what I've gone through, but they can't, and they just want to laugh, or they just want to give you your coffee. And the audience just wants to come and have a nice time. And I think because I've gone through these things, which I know is comparatively really, I have a good life.
I don't think you need to second guess yourself like that.
I do. I feel like I have to always temper it with, like, I know,
But imagine if we treated all beautiful pieces of art like that. Imagine like calling up Billy Joel and going, I just listened to and So It Goes about your breakup to that model who you were in love with. And I just thought you should know that people are dying in Palestine. So it's actually not a big problem. And that song didn't need the such sad sounding chords. That's okay. Really,
well, just in the car on the way to drop Margot this morning, we were listening to Olivia Rodrigo, her favourite. And she's got a song called Deja Vu. Which
I've heard that. Oh, no, I haven't.
Deja Vu is such a good... It was very funny. Well done. Very funny. You still got it.
Still in the comedy section of the podcasting thingy. So got it. Well that's done.
I think that was our quota. I think we've done it. Now we can just...
Now we can go back to your grief, rape, and yes.
What else can we talk about?
My doctor.
Oh, we have to get to your doctor's appointment about your antidepressants. Don't worry, we'll come to that. Deja Vu by Olivia Rodrigo, I think
I've heard that,
is a brilliant song. It's very catchy, but it's just structurally such good music, and the songwriting, the lyrics are so clever. It's such an amazing concept, this song. And she would have written it as a young teen. And I was trying to explain to Margot, I was like, no, this is a really good song, Margot. I know you just like it because you like Olivia, but this is a really good song for so many reasons. And she was like, do you think I could write music like that? And I was like, yeah, yeah, of course you can.
Of course you could.
No, I know, but why was I talking about Olivia Rodrigo?
I don't know. You know, she's got a song called Deja Vu.
Shut up. What was I talking about that for?
I've absolutely no idea. Because of Billy Joel and So It Goes.
Oh, no, yes. The song is just about her boyfriend going out and singing Billy Joel. Maybe that's why it came into my head.
There you go.
And singing Billy Joel to each other. And it's all just about a teenage breakup. But it's so good.
Mm-hmm.
The quality makes it doesn't matter that it's about this little teenage romance. It is so epic. It becomes this bigger thing because the quality is so good. And so I think what I'm trying to say is, even if it's not that heavy, and like sometimes I feel like, oh no, in order to create art now, I need to justify it by saying, well, it's about these serious things. Actually, you can create art and it can be about silly stuff and it can be about, you know, candy floss and rainbows or whatever. But if it's good and if it's meant well and if there's work that's gone into that fluff, then yeah, go for it.
Yeah. All right, Hemingway.
And I think we both have to learn from that this year, because I really, really, really would love you to write. I know you're already writing it and stuff, but I would like it to be fun.
It is fun.
Good.
Another Billy Joel song, the name of my show. I am the entertainer and I've
never heard that one.
It's not,
I've only heard a few Billy Joel songs.
Not a very well-known one. He did it on the Old Grey Whistle test back in, I think it was on his second album, self-titled.
I like Billy Joel.
I like Billy Joel.
I didn't used to think I would like him because I thought that he was that actor, Billy Crystal. Don't know why I thought that. And
They actually, you know, they don't look the same. But back when Billy Joel had hair, and I think when Billy Crystal had hair, and it was, I think, arguably at points similar hair, and there's a similar sort of open-eyed look that they possess. I can see that you might get them, and both Billies. So, you know, I really don't think that is the silliest thing in the world. I can see why you did that, but no, he's got. I wanted to go and see him play at Anfield this year,
but you couldn't.
But I couldn't because he's got hydrocephalus, water on the brain, which makes him feel like he's on a boat the whole time. He says,
"God, poor him."
So he needs to do a bit of R&R.
Yeah, will that go away?
77, an illness called hydrocephalus. I'm not a doctor.
He's only 77. Wow, I thought he was older.
Yeah, he's 77.
God, some 70-year-olds are so young, and then some 70-year-olds are so old.
Jesse?
Shall I write that down?
Write that the fuck down.
That's one for the memoir.
Memoir is just me, myself, memoir.
So you went to the doctor this week?
I didn't know.
Well, what happened? Yes, you did.
I think it'd be quite funny if on an episode of this, I just deny everything you say. I did a show called Sunrise. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. I was having chest pains recently, and I was worried about that, which I don't think was an overreaction. And I told Jessie, I
was there when you had one of them and it was fucking terrifying.
Yes, that's correct. So then we called up the doctor the next morning to organise a GP appointment.
Just say what happened though. I said to you, he had to sleep on the sofa again because he was too hot in our bedroom, or he hates me and he's covering.
I quite visibly don't hate you, do I?
Okay, good. And so I said to you before I went upstairs, I was like, set the alarm for 7:57 so that we can ring the GP at 8. I also had to ring the GP for 2 of our sons for various reasons. So I was calling at 7:57, came downstairs on hold, thinking, because if you don't ring at 7:59, you are number 30 in the queue. And sure enough, I open the door to the living room and Alfie is still asleep at 8 a.m. So I'm like, oh!
I do that thing, peering over the top of a duvet, shocked into consciousness. Oh yeah, I'll ring the doctor.
And you say, well, this is actually worse for my heart, the fact that you're waking me up like this.
And then you got the I'll do you call for a doctor's appointment for them. So then
I get through first.
And go, my husband's having chest pains.
I said my partner, actually.
Oh my God, not chest pains. You can't.
And they're like, well, he immediately needs to go to A&E. And you're like, what the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you doing?
That's more aggressive than I really did it. I went, oh.
You were like, oh, what the fuck
are you doing?
And I'm like, but you do. And then I had to kind of backtrack so that you would get an appointment. I was like, no, he just had a heart pain. But yeah, and he does have a high heart rate. No, he absolutely needs to go to A&E.
So then I rang later and said, hiya, I'm stressed. I've had a tightness in my chest, although it's non-urgent. That was days ago. It's past. It's nothing urgent, but I am. And they went, okay, well, we can give you a call later, like this evening or something. And I went, right. So it's either A&E or chat to you in a bit. What would I have to have said to you to get to come in a couple of hours?
You should have just said, I have pus on my toe.
But I don't.
I know, but you would have just got seen.
I know.
So it's a game. It's a wicked game, the GP appointment practice.
Yes. Dr. Chris Isaac will see you now.
Actually, oh, no. I was going to say that was the model. But it's not. The model who went out with my rapist looked exactly like Helen Christensen in the Wicked Game video. That's a little fun fact for everybody.
Wow. Lucky rapist. Yeah, so they called me up later that day and...
As we had guests arrive.
Yes, our guests arrived. And I spoke to them on the phone and they said, what seems to be the matter? I said, well, tightness in my chest, but I think it's caused by stress. I don't feel it when I'm under exertion. It is quite sort of easy to work out a symptom of stress. I can exercise without it happening fine. And they spoke to me about, have you had any history? And like when somebody talks to you about your history of your mental illnesses and whatnot, and you go, well, there's this and I was diagnosed with ADHD when I was a child and medicated, but I had to get off the medication because whenever I was coming down from it, because it has a 12-hour half-life, if I'd taken it at 7 on the train home from school in the evening, about 7 o'clock, I stayed to school quite late back in those days, when I'd be coming down, I'd kind of burst into tears and have these huge emotional episodes coming down from the amphetamine. So I had to stop all that. Then in my early 20s, I was diagnosed with depression and bipolar disorder. With a few kind of manic episodes, one of which resulted in me getting beaten up by some city boys and sleeping underneath a bridge and waking up with a mystery copy of The New Statesman and a couple of bottles of Lucozade. I had actually managed to blag my way into the National Soap Awards that night and gotten off with the head writer of Coronation Street. My only gay kiss with a stranger, and I think he was in his 60s. I wonder if he's still with us. I then...
Okay, so you didn't actually say this to the GP?
I said quite a lot of it to the GP, but I'm fleshing it out for...
You didn't say about the Coronation Street writer?
No, that detail was just for the listeners of the Before We Break Up Again podcast.
What about the New Statesman and the 2 bottles of Lucozade?
No, those details were just for the Before We Break Up Again podcast. I was then put on a mood stabilizer called Seroquel and an antidepressant. So the mood stabilizer obviously stabilizes and the antidepressant raises the level at which you are stable. And that's what they thought. But the mood stabilizer is a sort of a tranquilizer. That's how it operates. And I didn't like being tranquilized. And I was honed into this reality when watching a Kristen Scott Thomas film called I've Loved You for So Long. And it really is a crier. I can't stress that enough. It's a crier. And I am a big crier in movies, aren't I? I love to cry. And I didn't cry in this film, and I knew that I should be crying, but I knew that I was being deadened, and I immediately requested to come off of it. I've seen multiple different therapists, including when I was younger, which was really, really fucked up because I didn't really know what I was doing there. I thought there was something dreadfully wrong with me. And indeed, arguably there was. And then I, explained to her about the cancellation and, the fact that whilst I did something wrong, I don't think I was quite deserving of the disproportionate response career-wise, I would say.
You told her this?
Mm-hmm. And then that was quickly followed by the death of one of my very most loved friends and my father. And she went, right. And anything else? I said, well, I've got 4 kids and I'm struggling to make money and I don't quite know how this has all happened. And I feel I feel only chaos, and I feel defeated permanently by chaos and unable to process anything. And I'm about to be banned from driving because I haven't opened any post, because I refuse to believe that you can legally enforce something that you're telling me about through the post that Posty delivers, like it's 1997. Are you fucking kidding me? You're posting me something. Mad. Anyway, that's where I'm at. And she said, right, so we're going to put you through to the ADHD team. I'm going to put you through to the mental health specialists. I'm going to, and then can you come in tomorrow just to double check your heart to make sure it's all right? And I do have a raised heart rate, but that could just be stressed. But I'm going to go for an ECG anyway. And I've got a questionnaire to fill in about the kind of quality of my heart. She did offer me antidepressants over the phone. And I told her I really didn't like antidepressants. I didn't feel... And I told her about my personal reaction to the various diagnoses that I've received in my life, and that I don't even like taking painkillers. I like to be at one with my sensory perception of the world around me, so I know that I'm accurately engaging with it. And this might be ignorant, this might be foolish, who knows? Quite possibly.
And irresponsible.
And irresponsible. Could be irresponsible. I think they were packaged into foolish.
Okay, finish.
And soon. And yeah, so I said I'd rather speak to somebody first and address and allay some of the concerns that I have about how I find like diagnoses and slightly separating me from the human experience.
I think, though, I know that we do things very differently. I react and address a problem almost too quickly. But I think that the jury would say, no, it's time. It's just time. I think this is mean of me, but I have never really given ADHD enough attention. I've just always been like, yeah, we all have ADHD, fuck off. Yeah. Just focus. It is bad. But then as it's become more and more in the kind of the vernacular, is that the word?
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah.
The modern vernacular, like we just talk about ADHD all the time.
Well, there's been some awareness raising, hasn't there? The awareness of it as a legitimate mental ailment has been.
Yes, but the thing is that there's been more talk about ADHD as more and more phone use has happened. So
yeah, well, this is something else that I said to the doctor. I said, like, how much of depression is circumstantial versus like a chronic biological dysfunction, and how am I supposed to know which one I'm suffering from, and does it make a difference to how it's medicated? And she sort of went, right, fuck. I don't know.
You're giving the GP too much credit here. They're not designed, they're not trained, they're not equipped to answer questions like that unless you get someone fucking incredible. And I'm sorry, I'm not being derogatory about GPs. My entire family are in medicine. Like, they are not there to answer those questions. That's very sweet that you thought they would. But I think that now it's gone on too long.
It was a conversation. I wasn't saying, may I ask a few queries? This was a conversation with a woman who was deeply sensitive, empathetic, and articulate. And I was very grateful that my conversation and this conversation was with her, given I have had experience with GPs and I know who it could have been with. But
then you might have lucked out, yeah.
I really did. I think I would have known not to ask that question 20 minutes into a conversation had I not expected some form of response.
Two things. It's really funny that you were having this conversation upstairs just as our guests arrive with kids, and we're meant to have like a fun evening, and you come downstairs after the phone call looking like you've just been like hit by a bus, and you just go into yourself and are silent, and I try and work. I'm kind of distracted, so I don't really think about the fact that you'd have just had this phone call. So I'm just kind of getting angry at you that you're being silent and monosyllabic and not very active while we have guests. And then I realize, oh no, it's this thing. And of course, it's such...
You saw me begin to cry, didn't you?
Well, I just saw that you were about to cry. And I also know how it feels, because when you have those chats, it's so confronting suddenly to have to admit stuff about your life, because we're so forward thinking. We're constantly just like, right, what's next? When do we feed them? When do we go to bed? When do we get up? Who has this today? Who has that today? We're not really thinking ever retrospectively about the fact that collectively there's a lot of intense stuff that's gone on in the last few years of our lives. And I think that we're not very, we're both quite practical, and we just get on with things. We don't look back. We don't do therapy. We're not nostalgic. I don't think that we would benefit a lot from thinking more about the heaviness of those things and how that might be affecting how we work now.
I think, yeah.
But I don't like that, because then it's also admitting that those things are real. And I just kind of prefer to just kind of be like, la, 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 la.
Yes, I think the argument would be that they're still manifesting themselves in less direct ways. And by actually confronting, maybe if you spent half an hour in the morning to stew on those things that bubbled under the surface that you try so hard frequently to ignore, you would actually be much more free of them throughout the rest of the day.
Well, I think that's why you should do something in the morning, like meditation or some form of intentional exercise where you're breathing and you're, which would maybe help you. Just going back to the phone call and the what we do now. It's just really weird how life sometimes works, where you've been dealing with all these problems. They've been bubbling along for years, months. And then suddenly it's like we've hit a wall, both of us. And it's just time. It's time to address these things. And I think, like we were talking about, we want this show for you to be a joyful experience and for you to have a fun year doing a fun show where you're doing what you do best, which is make people laugh and go on stage and be the entertainer. You won't be able to do that without sorting this shit out.
Yeah, I've never done a fun show.
No, but I know you've never done a fun show, but
I know what you mean.
I think you could do just a fun show.
Yeah, conceivably. Let's see what comes out.
I know, but I don't think...
It's not going to be as heavy as last time.
Yeah, I know. I'm not saying, of course, it will be there's always many topics in there that are incredibly not fun, but you deal with them in a fun way, I think. Anyway, I just think it's time for you to go on some kind of medication just to help you focus.
Well, maybe it depends what we kind of what we come to the conclusion.
Yeah, but you take too long to make these decisions.
You don't take long enough.
I know, but I just think it's crazy that you were diagnosed with something. You were given medication for it, and I completely understand why you wouldn't want to be on a tranquilizer, and I also understand why you might not want to be on an antidepressant, especially given that they all work so differently. And how do you know that one that you went on was the right one for you? Like, we know that sertraline absolutely was devastating for me. It just wasn't the right one. It was
a pro-depressant for you, wasn't it?
It really accelerated the depression. Gave me my first suicidal thoughts. I just think a Ritalin type thing might be what you need.
Might be, yeah.
Yeah.
But we won't know, will we?
Well, what do you do then? What happens now? You
What
fill in
happens
a
now?
bloody questionnaire.
Yeah, you fill in a questionnaire, then Kofi Annan has to sign it. It gets sent to...
Who's Kofi Annan?
He's the former head of the UN. It was a joke.
Oh, right, okay. Well, I wouldn't understand a joke like that.
I know, but there are some people who might. It wasn't for you.
Okay.
Not everything, is for you. And...
Fuck off.
And you wait for a year, you go... lots of people messaged me on the Instagrams about this when I spoke about it on the World Wide Web, and were very helpful. The freedom to choose, or right to choose, or whatever it's called, is now booked up. So
what's that?
It's some other pathway that you can go about getting diagnosed, that you can expedite the process. You can do it privately. It costs about $6,000. That's much quicker.
$6,000?
That's correct. But doing it through the NHS will take about... The doctor said it could take a year.
Right.
And then once you've got that diagnosis, then you can start getting Ritalin or weed.
Okay, I'm not...
Is the other thing that they prescribe.
Weed is the other thing that's for working.
Mm-hmm.
But you've not been ever very productive on weed.
I know, I wouldn't take it. That's sort of my point about the way in which they medicate these things, is that one of the things that weed, which weed is now prescribed for various mental ailments, and and it's not right for me for what I have, I don't think.
Maybe it's right for me though.
I think it is, yeah. It certainly soothes the symptoms of Lucy Luteal.
And gives me many sitcom ideas,
Yeah, but I'm not sure they're very good sitcom ideas.
They're incredible.
Although I've had a couple of good ideas. I've written a couple of good jokes whilst high.
To be honest, I would prefer you not to medicate. I remember when you took Ritalin when Donnie was born. You still had... Oh, no. Yeah, we won't go into how you got that. But I do remember thinking, oh, well, he's really switched on. That's it. That's different. He's really active. But then I would meet you at about 9 p.m. and you would just look like incredibly dehydrated. Mm-hmm. And there would be something weird. There would just be some weird disconnect. And I remember thinking, oh, I don't know if I like that.
Hold that thought.
Well, where are you going?
I'm just going to shut the window.
Oh, we got the fucking dog next door. Oh my God, imagine if they listen to this podcast.
I think that if I was our neighbours, I would listen to this podcast.
I think they do.
Because how much more juicy would all these details be if you lived next door to us?
Well, so the woman opposite, do you know this? She came over with a Harry Potter book. I had to sign a Harry Potter book.
What?
Yeah, for her granddaughter. I thought she was coming over to tell me off. I was ready for it.
Is it the woman who lives opposite who looks like she's always going to tell us off?
No, not her. She does hate us.
Right. That's what was the surprise, yeah.
No, she hates us mainly because I think she's seen me naked so many times and she's pissed off.
Yeah, I've seen you naked so many times. I don't hate you.
Yeah, but I think she's annoyed that it looks like I'm parading myself around and her husband is probably seeing me, like she's probably annoyed. But then they have an open window to their bathroom. That's actually not legal.
Yeah, I know.
It has to be a frosted window. Thank you very much. I forgot your name. What is your name? I should know your name. I'm sorry.
I'll tell you afterwards. I've got it in my Apple Notes.
Okay. No, it was the other neighbour who was always taking her dog out. You know, she takes her dog out for 10 walks a day. Mm-hmm. Very sweet. But she came across very urgently. And I was like...
these people, listen.
I was like, oh God, what have we done? Is she going to tell us off for the van and how big the van is? And now basically the van is acting as a caravan for us.
Does anybody want to buy a van, by the way?
That wouldn't... But we would still have to pay it off though. Okay, let's not go into that. I don't understand.
I'm not going to... let's not get into a car finance conversation.
Okay, let's save that for an episode where we're really dry, right? Anyway, she came over. She's like, my granddaughter's coming over. I'm sorry, you must get asked this all the time, but would you sign her book?
You're not going to do her accent?
no.
No?
And I was like, oh, definitely. Yeah, anytime. She's like, I can go and get the book now. It's like, okay, cool. As Becca's sitting in the car, get some gum that I've just put down and forgotten about because I thought I didn't have any rubbish. So he's just now sitting in the front seat playing with gum as she tries to not be disgusted by that as I sign the book. And it's very sweet. But yeah, I know. I think they might listen. And I really, really like them. But I think we've just had our first drama. Our first drama is that she parked in front of our house.
Mm.
And I had to park right at the end of the street where you can get a ticket.
Mm.
And I couldn't hide my scowl. I scowled. I was like, are you fucking joking? Like, yeah. Sometimes you park. I would never park in front of their house, even if there was. And since then, I've parked in front of her house. Passive aggressively. So she probably does listen. And if you are, I'm really sorry. It was a very hot day and I couldn't help but scowl. And my mum had just told me off about tickets. And I was feeling like really annoyed. And I think that we should just have a rule where we don't park in front of each other's houses.
Why was your mum telling you off about tickets? Because
she was like, you shouldn't park there. You're going to get a ticket. And I was like, no, you won't. You won't get a ticket there. And she was like, look, here's my ticket. And so you can get tickets down there.
Yeah, I know you can get tickets down there, but like that's just part of the dance and sometimes you'll have to pay for a ticket.
Yeah, anyway, hopefully you don't have drama now.
I think it's fine. I'd also like to apologise to the same neighbour on Jessie's behalf the other day because we were having a quarrel the other day and Jessie went out for one of her, I need some time, I'm going on a walk. And you went on a walk and you put your headphones on and she was getting her kids in the car and she said hello to you and you just stared at your phone and walked straight past her.
Did I?
Ignoring her, I would say totally and utterly.
I didn't even see her.
Well,
when was that? That was not this week.
Well, we haven't quarrelled this week.
Yeah, Alfie, we've definitely quarrelled this week.
No. What day is it? Thursday.
We quarrelled last night. Because I said...
No, we didn't. That's not a quarrel. That was just... I didn't sleep last night. Really, Alfie? How are you being so lucid and quick-witted on the podcast? I don't know. I'm
Pepsi
running
Max.
on fumes. It's Pepsi Max. Caffeine-free. It's flavoured fizzy water. That's what it must be.
I am liable to say stuff when I'm half asleep that isn't particularly nice. So I did say to you... Oh, it's so fucking boring how you can't sleep.
Well, it's nice to know that you make yourself sound worse in the retelling of these details in the same way that you make me. You really need to get over this, Alfie. It's so boring.
So boring.
I said, I can't sleep. I said, I can't sleep. But I wasn't going, I can't sleep. You just went, are you all right? And I went, no, I can't sleep, but I'm fine. I'm just sort of fidgeting about. Sorry if it's annoying.
Yeah.
You really need to get over this. It's really boring. I'll go downstairs.
Yeah.
And I sat downstairs and stared at the ceiling there instead. And like, given that I have, stopped regular smoking of excellently fun cigarettes, I just don't know how people sleep. And it's like...
But you've been taking them... You've only done that since the drama. So that's 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So for 3 years, you've been self-medicating with that. So of course it's going to take time. But you've had periods of time where you haven't done it. How long? What's the longest?
4 or 5 months.
Okay, so you can do it again. I think it's cardio. I'm sorry, cardio.
Yeah.
You just have to do more cardio.
Mm-hmm.
Because dog walking is not cardio. I'm sorry.
I wasn't sitting here wearing a dog walking is cardio t-shirt, was I?
You let me walk the dog, which was very kind of you today.
Right.
And I thought, as an experiment, I'll walk really fast for the whole dog walk and see if I come back red in the face. No, didn't even break a sweat. And I walked for an hour and a half.
You're extremely fit.
Yeah, but I wanted to see...
Unless you're on top, in which case the cardio really leaves you, doesn't it?
That's not true.
It's really bizarre because you're so
That's
fit.
so mean. That's such a mean thing to say.
I thought,
it's fucking hard on top. It's hard.
I know. That's where I always am.
I'm stamina-wise fucking fit, but I am not muscularly very fit. And it's hard on my thighs. It's harder than a man being on top because you're not in that position. A man on top can be resting their weight on their knees. When you're going up and down, it's way harder for a girl on top than it is for a man. I'm sorry. It's way harder. When you're on top, you're just like, you've got all of it's an easier position. You can weight bear better. I'm right. We should try.
Yeah, I know. I was testing the water with that little quip, really.
It is one of my things. Like I want to have better stamina in that way. But also since my boob job, I just don't really, I don't have to do as much. It's great.
No, you don't know.
Okay, I'm hot now. I'm done.
Very hot.
You just embarrassed me.
So
You've embarrassed me.
These are the sort of like
That
decisions that we have to make in a moment. What are the things that I wanted to say that I didn't get in time?
Because I was speaking too much. Is that a little dig?
No. I can't think of anything. No. I was just wondering if there was anything that I wanted to say that didn't get said. I think
that we've come a long way since the period of time when I was doing Sunrise. Not only did my entire life and career change as I was finishing that show, because Ben died as I was doing it on stage, and then I had to keep doing the show for the last 2 weeks. Mad that I did that, and then went on to do it again in Edinburgh. And
a little bit of a tummy.
Couldn't let me have my moment, could you?
No, my tummy was jealous of all the attention you were getting.
Well, I did. I got so much attention, and that was
when you were doing Sunrise.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was getting loads of attention that year as well.
Yeah, you were.
We were both slated to be nominated, but neither of us were. But
the final judge couldn't get into my show because it was sold out.
Yes.
And also no, they already knew who was nominated. And also I doubt that was true.
What do you mean you doubt it was true?
I genuinely think that show should have been nominated more than
the one that was.
Sensitive Man. Yeah, definitely.
Well, yeah, I think Sensitive Man was nominated because they thought that. But who gives? I don't know. My point is that I remember, because that had been such a bizarre few years from me having a good Edinburgh and a successful show in 2012. And one of my most formative memories from 2012 is because
meeting me.
I'd gone up to Edinburgh in 2011 for the first time, done a show, had a sort of maximum audience that whole month of 30, but with an average audience of like 6 to 8, sometimes performing to as little as few as 2 people.
In Soul for Sale?
No, in the year before that,
okay.
The Love You Take. And I felt completely dejected and like comedy wasn't going to work for me. But a producer came to see it and produced the next show really, really well. Got me a great time and venue and whatnot, and I managed to put together a pretty decent show. And I remember playing to a full room for the first time and it going really, really well, and all of my gambles paying off. And I said, thank you very much, good night. And I went round the curtain and I just started throwing my fists in the air and going, yes, yes. And I think I was chasing that feeling ever since. And I tried to do lots of new things that didn't quite pan out the next year. And then the next year I was very badly produced. And then the next year, again, it'd been too long since anybody gave a shit. The next year was the year that Margot was born, that you were coaching me, that I didn't have my show ready in time, that I was on the Free Fringe. Next year was a work in progress. And then this year, so like 6 years after, I had this moment that I thought I'd let it all go. And it's very rare that you can have a big moment, fade away and have another one. Or it felt like it's impossible. And at the end of that month, after finding out that I was in the running and expected by a lot of people to be nominated, I remember walking back through Cowgate and just feeling giddy, like so happy that I had been able to have a good year. And this was after just finding out that the nominations had come out. And I hate how beholden we all are spiritually and emotionally, and how much of our self-worth and our artistic credit we tie up in, like, and some of these, the fuck are these, like, lots of these judges are fucking half-wits. And apart from the ones that have been selected for this year, of course, who were brilliant. And I was so happy.
Yeah, but the tragic thing is, if you had been that year, your whole life would have been different. It would have been. Your career would have, financially, it would have just been such a breakthrough.
Maybe, but you can say that about kind of anything.
Well, I think it's all changed now anyway. But yeah, I relate to the chasing that feeling. I haven't felt like that in.
Yes, I think it would be really incredible to feel optimistic and proud and happy about your career again.
Yeah.
And I really, I miss feeling that way.
Well, that's partly why I said yes to doing the shows again, because it was so flattering to be asked. And then I thought, it'd be really interesting as an experiment to go and read it. I'm just reading it, to read it through again with the perspective I have now of life having changed so much for us, and then 2 more kids and breaking up and getting back together again. And for my career to have shifted so much because of need, I thought it would be an interesting experience for me selfishly. I don't know if it will be interesting to see, but and I think it was almost for me. I remember, I've said this so many times, but 2 days or 3 days before he died, being backstage on tour, sold out show in Manchester, and looking in the mirror and thinking, I'm the happiest I've ever been. Like, this is, I have my boyfriend, I have my kids, I have my show, I have my career. I love everything. And I've never, ever really ever been a positive person who's been able to reflect and take note of how good things are ever. And that was me being like, no, I'm going to do that actually. And then 2 days later, getting that call. So,
yeah. Yes, like when we were walking down the street in central London with our new baby and we were just freshly fallen in love. I thought, I can't believe how happy we are and how lucky we are and how this has worked out in this idyllic and most romantic way. And then my stepfather got encephalitis and, lost 20 years of his memory. And that curtailed the happiness somewhat at that point. And then, despite the fact that we were in love, I would be kind of crying at night, and I didn't quite feel like. And I think it was probably very, very difficult for you because you went, yeah, I sort of loved you, but I also don't know you quite well enough to know how to navigate this, and I haven't been in relationships before that I haven't encountered this sort of thing.
I had never dealt with grief before, so I was just like, okay, I'm just going to go back to breastfeeding now.
Yeah.
And also my way of dealing with things was like, well, get up and write. You write your diary in the morning, you do that. So my way of being a girlfriend at that point was very much like being your assistant or your life coach.
How we've changed.
No, but I had to change because we broke up because of that.
I know.
Even though
you should still be my assistant.
I need to be. Otherwise, we're fucked.
You're desperate to be.
But Alfie, if I'm not, then we're fucked. Like you don't open envelopes.
Neither do you.
Yeah, but I don't get any. If I get one, I open it. I don't get any mail. I don't know why. I don't get any mail. I don't get any emails. I don't get any mail. What is going on?
I don't know. Maybe you're off the grid.
I don't know
you should shut down all your bank accounts and keep all your OF money under your mattress. Hard cash.
Right, we need to go because the kids are downstairs.
Yes.
Half-term fun.
Take care of yourselves.
Can you just say what I'm letting you do today? Just because I think quite often people think that I'm like horrible to you. So can we just say what I'm letting happen?
I think you have discredited yourself with your own phrasing there, because I think it's actually even kinder than that. And it's not definitely happening, but you have suggested, given my mental state, that I kill myself. No, you've suggested, given my mental state, that I go and stay in a hotel for the evening and have some time away from the chaos as a way to free my own brain of the muddle and noise that comes with our family life in an air-conditioned...
in an air-conditioned room, have some quiet time, have some sleep, and come back tomorrow cured.
Yeah, that's going to be... That is what... Actually, I don't want to go anymore.
8:01 a.m.
Because if I don't come back tomorrow... But you said to me, you should go and do this. And it really is... and
then I forgot that I'd offered that. I went on the dog walk, thought I would be able to go to see The Devil Wears Prada tonight with Margot.
Devil Wears Prada 2.
And now I can't because I've been so generous to you. So well done. You know, you've got a very selfless girlfriend.
I do.
Yeah, you do.
I really, really do.
You really don't. You don't. And I will be bitter and resentful that you're doing it. But I think that we should do that more. I think you should go away on your own more.
I think we should both do that.
But I also don't want you to die so much that I am so worried about you that anything just to kind of keep your heart going.
I don't want to die either. I was thinking in the garden, just to end on a really sort of saccharine but true note, how much I love you and how it feels. And I don't know how other people who are in love with
as I was looking out the window waving at you?
Yeah. Oh. Because to everybody, the love that they feel, or maybe it's narcissism, I don't know, but it feels so spectacular that it must be rare. And I really feel the need to honor the quality, the level, the enormity of our love and how special and rare it feels by living for as long as I possibly can, as well as I possibly can.
That's why I think you'll die soon.
Yes, me too, yeah.
Because it's like, oh no. It's like when I was reading about Paul McCartney today with Linda. Like, of course she died.
Yeah.
Of course she died. Your love was too great. So I need to just love you a bit less.
Well,
Maybe you should cheat on me.
Why am I dying?
I don't think I'm going to die for a long time.
I don't think you thought, Linda the vegetarian, the slim, pretty vegetarian woman.
Well, she had breast cancer, didn't she?
Yeah, from all that soy.
So now, if I had known about breast cancer...
That wasn't true, that wasn't real. Don't take that seriously.
No, it's not because it was...
Yeah, I know, that's what I just said.
Oh, right,
that's not true, that's not real. Don't take that seriously.
I didn't think it was breast cancer, I think it was ovarian.
Anyway,
breast cancer. If I had looked up breast cancer, I can't get a mammogram for ages because of my implants. Mm-hmm. So I won't know. And I've got lumps in them because you have lumps in them after you get the implants. I just really want to put people off getting a breast enlargement, actually.
What? So you like...
So I'm the only one.
Yeah. That would have been a good... After you get your teeth done in Turkey, or your hair plugs done.
Never getting my teeth done.
No, not you. One.
Teeth done is on the way out, by the way.
That's my point. If you just like gatekeep having your teeth done. Oh my God, it was the worst experience and it looks awful, blah, 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 and then you're the only one with the kind of most amazing teeth in the world.
But I can't get a mammogram now, so I could easily now not be able to pick up a lump.
Yes, I know. And look, So
if I die from breast cancer, it is your fault.
But no, it isn't, because that makes it sound like I was the one who cajoled you into tit surgery.
You forced me to get a boob job, and you know it.
That's just not true. That's just not true.
Okay, thank you for listening, everybody. Oh, we just need to promote some stuff.
Okay. Let's do